Hello again and welcome to the channel Amanda Gets Growing. Now today is very much a changeover day in the garden. My plan is to remove the last of the summer crops, take in any final harvests and then to put in their place some lovely garlic bulbs that I bought. The weather's really hit and miss today. It's really breezy and it might be about to rain, so I really need to crack on with it. So one of the plants I'm going to be removing is this tomato plant here. This was just complete luck. It self-seeded itself from a discarded tomato in my compost and it's fruited really well for me this year. I'm actually going to keep some of these tomatoes and see if I can harvest some of the seeds because I've got no idea what variety it is, but as it's done so well for me, I'd quite like to try and grow it again next year. So that's that tomato plant removed then. I've taken off all of the ripe, semi-ripe fruits and I'll take them indoors. I've got enough there for a nice salad. I'm now going to go and see if I can remove the last of my squash plants. If you remember, earlier in the summer, I harvested a massive squash plant. It's a tromboncino in the size of it's like a curved shape. It's meant to be in the shape of a trombone. And for some strange reason, I was dancing around my garden with it. You haven't seen that, maybe check that out. Now, I haven't got anything quite that big, but I do think I have a couple of baby tromboncinos that I can harvest before I remove those squash plants. Here then are my squash plants that I'm going to remove. Now, you can see that the leaves are starting to die back, but they have still been very productive for me. You can see here I've got a really decent sized fruit. That I can have with I usually fry it up with a bit of olive oil and garlic and it's super tasty. The thing to watch with these tromboncinos is they tend to, I don't know, rot from the tip here. So it's a good idea to harvest this now because there's so much moisture around. I don't know how much longer it would survive in my garden. And yeah, let me get this plant out. Okay, so that is all of my tromboncino removed. Yeah, do they like to grow? That is a lot of material there, and I'm sure my compost bin is going to be very happy with that. What I will do, just to help a bit with the decomposition of this, is to give this a good chop up, as that will help it break down in the compost bin. I mean, this is all quite like hard material, and it's just going to speed up the whole composting process if I give it a good chop now. So that's all now nicely chopped up, so I'm going to pop it in my compost bin and let's get planting those lovely garlic bulbs. Now I've chosen to grow the soft neck variety Maddock White. It's meant to be a really good all-rounder, and the reason I've chosen a soft neck is because it's meant to store much better than the hard neck varieties. And when you think that I've got two bulbs because it seems that you can only buy them in two and I'm going to be taking out each clove and then each one of these cloves is going to become another big bulb. That is a hell of a lot of garlic for one woman living alone to eat. Unless I want to live alone forever, right? So that's why I've gone for a soft neck variety. Now, these will grow really well here where I am, just north of London. I'm in growing zone 9A. But if you are in like a slightly cooler climate, you might be better off growing the hard neck varieties. As you would expect from the name, they are much hardier. I am just going to break up the cloves. This is exactly what you would do if you were like cooking with it, right? There's nothing special here. Now I've just broken up those two bulbs and yeah, I've got about 20 individual cloves there. So I think it's just as well I've chosen a variety that stores well. Okay, so I'm going to get my garlic cloves in now. The good news is that you don't need to get them in too deeply. They only need to be about an inch deep. I think that's about 2 centimetres, 2.5 centimetres, something like that. So it's much nicer than planting some of the spring bulbs that have to go in a lot deeper than that. And yeah, thankfully we've had quite a bit of rain where I am over the past few days, so the soil isn't rock hard like it normally is. Tilly, come on. No. So this area here was where I had my tomato plant growing previously. So I'm just going to dig a very small trench and I reckon I've got enough room to put 2 in here. They need to be planted about 6 inches apart. So yeah, I think that's probably about enough space. So let's dig a trench there. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so obviously make sure you plant the rooty bit facing down. Technical term, rooty bit. Right. And yeah, there you are, and then just cover, and nature should do the rest. Now, one of the tips I saw when I was researching planting garlic was to actually put like a layer of leaves on top of where you plant your garlic bulbs. And in doing so, you'll keep the weeds down, you'll feed the soil, and you'll also keep the soil that little bit warmer. And considering I'm growing a soft net variety, it seems like quite a good idea. Now, I have absolutely no shortage of leaves in my garden, as you've probably seen from this video. So I'm definitely going to be using that trick. Another way that I'm using this fantastic leaf harvest that I have here in my garden is to mulch around my red currants and my plum tree that I planted this year. So if you saw my recent video, I talked about how you can just use really normal garden materials, from grass clippings to healthy garden waste, to help improve your soil. And I'm now adding on top of all of that some lovely leaves. Now that's how I like to use leaves in my garden, but I'd be really interested to hear if you have any other unique ways that you like to use leaves, as I've got plenty. So okay, so that's the end of the video on garlic planting. I hope you enjoyed it and found some of the tips useful. It didn't rain like I thought it might, but gosh, it's really windy, and what a dreadful hair day to put on YouTube. Never mind. But if you did enjoy, please do consider liking, leave me a comment, or of course you could go completely rogue and subscribe. You know you want to. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and until next time.